The two skippers out there at the moment then are Keith Curle and Brian Robson, and the weather, quite honestly, is awful. But then what do you expect in Manchester? Mark Hughes knows his place could be under threat by the arrival of the Frenchman Cantona, who is on the bench today, but is almost certain to get a run at some stage, if only to satisfy the fans here who want to see him. There he is, the Frenchman, taking his place in the substitutes bench. There hasn't been a more controversial move in English football all season. £1.2 million it cost for Cantona to come to Old Trafford. Today's referee, Gerald Ashby from Worcester. Well, it really is teeming down, so much so the hardy souls at one end of the ground that's exposed. Building work's about to take place there. They've all been issued with plastic Macs. It could become known as the Big Mac end of the ground. United in their famous red shirts and white shorts to get the game underway. City playing all in blue. What else? And the ball is going to skid on this surface. No question about that. It's going to be difficult to control it. The throwing down the line aimed towards Niall Quinn, the huge figure who plays up front for Manchester City. And this will be steered back to goalkeeper Schmeichel, the Danish international, the star of the European Championship victory in the summer. And he hoofs it long halfway inside his opponent's half, where the first free kick of the game is awarded against Mark Hughes, as the rain already threatens to flatten his hair. The pitch is good, may cut up a little bit later, but for the moment it's an excellent surface. And an offside verdict given against Quinn, who's claiming 3 goals this season. Many people had him down as only getting 1, but he's claimed a recent goal at Coventry and another against Bristol Rovers, so he reckons he's got 3. There's a great run by Giggs to get around the back of Brightwell, and he's won the first corner of the game, and that was tenacity on the part of the Welshman Giggs. United have the game's first corner in the 2nd minute. Dennis Irwin will take it, and United have got 4 men inside the penalty area, 2 more camped just outside it, but the ball is cleared effectively as far as Parker, and then his momentary hesitation allowed Sheron to get a touch. Well, we saw the difficulty of the surface as Sharpe slipped. McClair wanted the throw in short and got it. Up the middle towards Quinn, and he used his elbow, Quinn, on big Gary Pallister, 6'3", tall centre-back, England international. Free kick. Match, as you would expect. The crowd here have been in a state of anticipation of awaiting this game for a number of weeks now. Paul Parker is told by Pallister to direct it back to goalkeeper Schmeichel. He obeyed. And then McClair beaten on the jump by Curle. Giggs back for Parker. And yet again Quinn way offside, as was White. Could have been either of them. David White, who made his England international debut this season against Spain. Peter Reid is the Manchester City manager, who has just signed an extension to his contract. He was offered 3.5 years but accepted 2.5. And a little flick on, and here's Sharpe, and he got wrong side of Brightwell. Lee Sharpe, good to see him back in action. He's had so much ill fortune with injuries and illness, but he's back in the team now, but didn't get a critical touch. Sharpe was playing on the left-hand side of midfield today, with Robson and Ince in the centre. Sheron, a little flick through. Here might be a problem. Holden, and it's a free kick for City. Given against Parker. And it's in a terrific position for City to exploit. Parker showing his anguish. I detect a slight smile on the face of Rick Holden there. And that is the position for this free kick. Fitzroy Simpson, Rick Holden and Steve McMahon, the three City men there. And as you can see, there's a considerable number of red shirts in front of them. Curle's going to get involved as well. And now he's going to almost shield the ball from sight. That's an interesting ploy. And they're not going to know where it's going to come from, and neither is Schmeichel. It's going to come disappointingly in the end from Steve McMahon, and really there wasn't much inventiveness about that free kick. Bruce is the latest to have picked up a slight knock, as United have a free kick, and some relief for United. That was an excellent position for them. That must be surely too long, and it's flicked off Curle's head straight through to Tony Coton. Brian Robson, not one of his better passes, and he acknowledges the fact with a wave of the hand. But Robson has been back in for the last 3 games now, and United's form has picked up distinctly. That's hit long, edge of United's area, and there might be something on for Sheron, who tries to get in there behind the central defenders. It was well cleared by Bruce. And then Hill comes out strongest. Sheron couldn't take it. Hughes trying to wrestle his way free from McMahon. And then the ball aimed up towards Bruce. Ince importantly got a header in. We don't expect much space in a derby game. United have won 41 of these previous encounters, City 32, and perhaps predictably there have been more draws than anything, 43 of them. And they're all square at the moment as White lofts it beyond Holden and out of play. Here's Phelan for City. McClair. The early moments of a derby match are always important. It's vital for neither side to concede anything, do anything stupid in those moments. And here Irwin clears for United. Simpson gets up. And still there's danger here as Irwin gets another header in, and there'll be a whistle against White, who went in on the back of Irwin. Dennis Irwin, the Republic of Ireland international. There's virtually a fixture in this United side. He's missed only 1 game all season. And already you could see it's just cutting up in Schmeichel's goalmouth is the pitch. Not surprising in these conditions. Coton playing the goalkeeper's new sweeper role. And then White's onside here, and he's got 2 men up with him, but he was really looking for Sheron, and it didn't come to him. But White had got goal side of United's central defenders then. And it might be a day where long ball tactics could pay off. United try to break. Hughes screened it, and then there's a break on for Ince, and if he gets a good pass in here there'll be trouble for City. As it is, it's no more than a free kick. Ince brought to ground by Keith Curle. There's plenty of pace about the game, and it was a strong burst from Ince. He came to grief. And United's Captain Marvel, as they call him, Brian Robson, is going to deliver this free kick. 3 men in the penalty area. And he tells Bruce to leave it to him. And Pallister's up there, and Hughes is up there as well. But in the end, it's easy for Quinn to clear. Nine minutes gone. United 0, City 0. Beyond Hughes and all the way through from one number one to the other. Oh, that's a great header from Quinn, and White comes, and David White might just get in here. Schmeichel from his line there to help out Irwin, who was under considerable pressure. This is Lee Sharpe. Ince, intelligent ball back for Sharpe, who controls it with some difficulty, but still finds support from Robson, and it's come back for Sharpe as well. Here's a dangerous looking ball in, and Giggs came to meet it, got inside Phelan, but couldn't get any strength on the header. It was coming at an awkward angle for him, but he appreciated the cross anyway. Good to see these two youngsters in harness. Sharpe's cross, Giggs' header. Well, that was where David White almost got in at the other end. We've had 10 goalless minutes. It's not short on excitement. Much of it frenetic, as you might expect of a derby game. It is strange how derby matches generate this sort of atmosphere, even when the players are not necessarily born in the city, and not many of today's performers were born in Manchester. There's one who was, David White. Well, they pushed up for the offside, and it was forthcoming thanks to the flag on the far side. Sharpe just one of those in an offside position. Curle. He's very quick on the ball, is Keith Curle, and he's confident, which is why he was able to take it away from McClair. And Sheron's given offside now. We've had a lot of those. The linesmen have to be particularly alert these days. With the new laws of the game are more offsides than ever. That's good hustling. United's throw in. And still the rain lashing down at Old Trafford. Really abysmal conditions for the players to contend with. I suppose once the game is underway they forget about the weather. Terry Phelan there was born in Manchester but started his professional career with Leeds United before moving off to Swansea City, Wimbledon, and then coming back up to Manchester. United's throwing for McClair. Nobody's really found any space yet. There might be a good cross in from Giggs here. It's cleared as far as Pallister, who just knock it back into the danger zone, where Hughes gets up, and here's Sharpe at the back post. First he's got to keep it in play. Has he done that? No is the answer. There might be some sympathy with Sharpe. There was just one touch which might have carried it over the dead ball line. He thought he'd kept it in. The linesman on that far side had a different view of things. Let's see now. Hughes with the header. It was a good one, really. It was angled, and Sharpe there. It was in play, and there was the moment where it perhaps went out. No foul given this time, so it's Robson underneath it. Breaks for White. Irwin's challenge important. Robson in a very deep position at the moment. Plies it forward onto the head of Hughes again. And now it's Ince, who races through. He was checked, and the free kick has been given. He's continuing to hustle for it. Paul Ince really coming into his own these days at Old Trafford. He's won an England place, and McMahon rather overdid it there. It's a good young un against a good old un in many respects. Steve McMahon in the twilight of his career. Here's another one in such form. Robson slashing the shot right across the face of the City goal. It's a long time since Brian Robson found the mark. His last league goal was against West Ham United in November last year, over 12 months ago. He made his league debut, in fact, in a derby match for United. That was against City, having come to Old Trafford from West Brom. Coton forward, McMahon forward, to the head of Bruce though. It's City's turn to come with Rick Holden, who's got it on his left foot, but he can't get past Irwin, who's made one or two crucial tackles already in this game. Solid work at the back by Bruce, and then that's a good tackle. White getting across to put the ball out of play as we come up to quarter of an hour gone, and it will be United's throw-in. It's important to work back like that, as White did. Sheron, nice header through for Quinn. Created a bit of space here as well, and White puts it in, and there were two of them coming for it, and neither of them got there, and that's a let-off for United without question. And now it's their turn to break. It's becoming more vibrant by the minute. Giggs goes, and there are three United men up already if Giggs can supply a good ball in. So, it's rather missed in defence there by Hill. So Sharpe tries to keep the momentum going for United. Short for Ince, rolled for Robson. Robson left-footed and palmed down by Coton. The best moment of the game so far. In fact, there were good moments at either end there. And nobody's going for that. But at the one end, City could have taken the lead with that ball in from David White, and then at the other, it was a pretty hot shot from Robson. There we see it. Coton happy to just knock it down. And Robson has had two shots in the game already. That's up to his quota for the season. A City free kick. Edge of the area. Cleared by Robson, and there's a one-on-one here. Curle against Hughes. Curle confident. Coton happy to put the ball out of play. And that was good refereeing by Mr. Ashby. He let that go on. Some referees would have pulled it up for a foul by Hughes, maybe on Curle, but he saw it as 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. For McClair. And this is Quinn. White, longer ball up the middle. Sheron trying to lay it off into the path of Holden. And now there is offside against Mark Hughes. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Keith Curle, free kick for City. Quinn, Holden, trouble here, White coming for it, and it's flicked behind by Schmeichel. In fact, the referee's given a goal kick, I think. Interesting, and well, a quizzical look, I would say, from Schmeichel. There's an offside, unquestionably. Sheron was offside, that's why Schmeichel is looking, and if White's header had gone in, there would have been considerable protesting. And again, it's Sheron trying to get in behind Pallister. Phelan, that very athletic fullback, knocks the ball out of play. United's throwing. Niall Quinn obviously is going to pose big problems to United's defence with his height, 6'5", one of the tallest strikers around. That's well nipped in the bud by Hill. But then it's not a good ball he's played, and neither is that from Steve Bruce. Once more they look for Quinn. This time he took it on the instep. Doesn't really win either of his duels. Phelan won that one though, and he won the free kick as well. Giggs' challenge, seen as an illegal one. And now 21 players are in United's half. Keith Curle. So blanket defence by United against this as we come up to the 20-minute mark. And Curle hoists it up into that area where Quinn got it well, but couldn't direct it to anybody else in a blue shirt. Then an intelligent bowl out by Schmeichel. Giggs takes on Phelan. Ince and Robson combining in midfield nicely as well, and McClair's here too. Free kick's going to be given now. He was wrestled down by Simpson. The Manchester United midfield has perhaps been slightly more prominent so far. Robson looking to take it sharply, which he does. Chances here to play this one in. Bruce knocking it back for Ince. Oh, a smashing goal! Paul Ince for United. 20 minutes gone. Nothing Coton could do about that. And never mind the Max. It's United who are singing in the rain, because this was delightfully laid into his path by Bruce, and Ince smacked it inside the upright. Paul Ince then, who hasn't scored since he got 2 against Norwich City in Mark, registers the first of the derby for United. Well, he's overcome a groin injury to play in this one as Paul Ince, and he's made his mark. United 1, City 0. And are they singing now? And it's Paul Ince's name that they're singing. Here's Sharpe for United. There was trouble for City again there. Hill cleared under the gaze of Giggs. Local pride so much at stake in the derby as always, and United being one up, as you can imagine, it's all red and white scarves around the stadium at the moment, and they're here once more. Well, the McMahon clears only as far as the goal scorer, the hero of the moment, Paul Ince. This is now Paul Parker for United, and they're buzzing a bit at the moment. It really was a very good goal. It's a nice time to get your first of the season. And Alex Ferguson, United's manager, delighted with the way United's season is developing. They had a very stuttering start, but this is much more like the United that took Leeds so close in the race for the title last season. That victory at Arsenal last Saturday certainly suggested this can be a watershed in United's season, and if they go on to win this one today, they'll feel they're right back in the Championship hunt. They've had the best possible start. Robson with a United free kick. City have to keep their composure. It's come back to Robson. He'll have another dig with his left foot, and McMahon blocks. Brightwell elects to keep it in play, and then play the long ball down, and Ince might just be caught out in defence now. No, White was behind him, and Ince certainly will be delighted with his start to the game. Oh, that's a lovely touch. It was Sharpe to Hughes. Ince once more. Down the left goes Giggs. I think it's just going to have too much pace on it for him. But there's a brightness about Manchester United at the moment that hasn't always been there this season. It's funny how a goal lifts a side. Well, here we see how Bruce there laid it on again, and that left foot of Paul Ince was too good for Tony Coton. Fairly rifled inside the upright. Simpson and Phelan. Terrific tackle that by Bruce, and United swarm forward again. They really are buzzing. The Hill, that was an important one for him to win, and then unfortunately from City's point of view, Sheron couldn't control his pass. And for the minute City have their backs to the wall thanks to Ince's goal. No wonder he's smiling. It's good to score in any match, but in a derby it's especially sweet. This is long from Schmeichel. Oh, and Curle gave it away to McClair. Parker, stooping header. Bruce will have a different type of touch to the ball this time, directing it back to his Danish keeper. Who does Schmeichel? Onto Bromby. Up long towards McClair, who gets his head on it, but only straight through to Coton. And the two goalkeepers having their own private little game at the moment. Reid, who won't be concerned about having to put himself on if he has to do in this match. At the age of 36, he's still an influential footballer. Schmeichel comes halfway inside his own half before clearing. Overhit it. Well, this is getting quite ridiculous. There's only the two goalkeepers playing at the moment. And what are the odds that this one goes straight through to Coton? Or else it gets knocked back to him. Well, United have it. Giggs and Hughes. And then it is given away for Simpson, who must play it up the left. There was a lot of space there. Now here is Holden. Phelan is quick. And he's taking on Ince. And he's getting a throw-in. Ince covering acres of ground to get back. He's become a hugely popular player at Old Trafford, is Paul Ince, and not just because of his goal today. Sheron going round in circles, and he went too far, but fortunately for City it broke for McMahon, and now there's a chance of a ball in for Quinn. It was too high for him, and if it's too high for Niall Quinn, it's too high for anybody in football. Simpson, Brightwell and McMahon. It's McMahon's ball into Sheron, edge of the United penalty area. Then Sharpe. Good ball for Hughes. He was covered by Curle, but not fouled by him at the first attempt. He was at the second. And Hughes and Curle are having a bit of an old tussle here this afternoon. 27 minutes gone. Manchester United 1, Manchester City 0. And Irwin's free kick again. It's Giggs who makes these darting runs to get into good positions. And he's won the corner. Not for the first time in the game, Ryan Giggs' awareness took him into a position which resulted in a corner kick for United. They've won 2 and City haven't won any in the game as yet. Giggs, short. Irwin might try a shot. Just try a shot! And it slices wide of the far upright. I thought it had taken a deflection, and it has in fact. The referee, Mr. Ashby, saw that too. Giggs teed him up. Irwin went on one stride, and then it just flicked, I fancy, off Simpson's knee. Good effort from Dennis Irwin. Corner for United. Sharpe swinging in, and Coton has to palm it behind for another one. That was a nasty ball to have to cover. It's greasy, don't forget, and may not have gone in, but he couldn't take the risk. Another Sharpe corner, same place, Pallister, and it flashes across goal. Pallister rising high, It's the sort of situation tall central defenders love, and I thought that was going to go into the net at one stage. Pallister there, but it's gone right across. They wouldn't have stopped it. If it had been destined for the top corner, you would have heard a roar. This is a foul by Quinn. He gets a rather withering look from Steve Bruce. But there's been nothing untoward in the derby so far. And Hughes not quite able to get his way past Hill. And again, there's a bit of feeling developing between Bruce and Quinn. Robson might have rather overdone it there against McMahon, and now there is some ferocity, and you could see that happening at Ince, and McMahon involved straight away as Quinn and Simpson act as peacemakers. But you just sense that that was boiling up. Brian Robson went in where he shouldn't have done, and then immediately afterwards it sparked off that little fracas, and referee Ashby's going to have to take control here. Ince had gone across Quinn, and then in came McMahon reacting, and Robson was a peacemaker too, as was Simpson there. No names taken. Well, that was the first real point of the match where it was ignited. You'd sensed it because there'd been a bit of trouble between Quinn and Bruce just before that. Here is United's free kick inside the City penalty area. It's going to fall for Giggs, and that's ballooned right into the building site. Alex Ferguson says about Ryan Giggs that he's probably going to find it harder this season because opposition teams know all about him now. Good header, White to Quinn. Pallister covering now, covering it capably too. That was well met by Hill. McMahon hasn't really anybody to spread it to. He's getting booed, especially by the Stretford end. Parker just kept it in, but City have the ball. Holden's cross, Pallister's header, falling handily for McMahon maybe, and then Quinn's touch was intended to take White through the gap. It didn't do so. I think it's actually stopped raining, but United are leading 1-0, and that's the most important fact about the afternoon. No, it is still raining, but not as heavily. Quinn's header's a good one now. Sheron back for Simpson, wide for Brightwell. Now McMahon, booed again after his involvement in that little bit of bother, and Schmeichel is going to get the free kick because of Quinn's challenge, and Schmeichel himself didn't approve of that. I think he was quite happy he'd emerged with the ball, but the referee saw Quinn's challenge as a foul one. It's the ball in here which brings the keeper darting from his line. Strikers just can't go for balls these days. Schmeichel can take care of himself. He's a big lad, the goalkeeper from Denmark. And here's Sharpe trying to get McClair into the penalty area. Then McClair holding away the challenge of Brightwell, and then asking Robson to do something with it. The two of them between them contriving to come out with the ball. Irwin, and that might be just that bit too long, enabling Hill to clear. Pallister, who's had a good afternoon so far against Quinn. Hughes. How did he emerge from that? Well, he knows he's playing for his place with Cantona on the bench. Parker. Might get it back here. He does. And appeals for a handball, not given, but Giggs has possession until he's brought down, and again they go wading in. Fitzroy Simpson now, and he appeals to the referee, who might take some stern action. I have a little bit of sympathy here with Simpson. I think perhaps he hadn't even heard the whistle. A moment ago he was a peacemaker. Oh, and in fact it's not even going to be Simpson, it's going to be Holden who's going to get a booking. Let's have a look at this. Holden had gone down, and he goes to pick the ball up. I'm not quite sure why Rick Holden got a lecture then, but he did, and he's got the first yellow card of the afternoon. I suspect perhaps for what went on a few moments earlier, the referee has decided it's time to take some action. No matter, it's a free kick for Manchester United. We're inside the 35th minute as this free kick is played in. Oh, and it's gone all the way through to Coton. With McClair coming in, the keeper was very glad to hang on to this. Difficult ball in. It's over the top of Curle and goes all the way through. Good turn by Hughes. He's played well so far in his central attacking position. Giggs, still Giggs, and rather a tepid shot on the end of it, but to be fair, it's taken the slightest of deflections, which produces another United corner. And did I detect a word there between McMahon and Ince? I think I did. But anyway, here's Giggs once more. It was McMahon who obviously got the touch that carried it out for the latest United corner. Giggs now to swing it in, and Bruce was coming for it. It didn't reach him. McMahon booed louder than ever. He doesn't care. He's played a great ball forward for Phelan, who pops up in this position, and now David White tests his pace. Oh, and it's a bad tackle by White on Ince, and a handshake between the two. That's good, but White really went across. He had to go for it, White, I suppose. His pace was necessary, and a great run back by Paul Ince to keep the ball away from him. Phelan's pass through was excellent, and so was Ince's work in defence. Phelan had somehow bobbed up in the outside right position. It wasn't as bad a challenge by White as I thought at first, but Paul Ince is undoubtedly man of the match for me at the moment. Here he is again. He really is having a purple patch, having made the England side, and he figured very prominently in the victory over Turkey a couple of weeks ago. And he's the most influential man on the field at the moment. That's a nice flick through, but Bruce in the right place. Simpson towards Sheron. It's still bobbling around. This is a better spell from City, but McMahon has to win it back from McClair. The ball in field is from Brightwell. Simpson's got a bit of space to work with now. The referee, I fancy, got in his way a little there, and it breaks for Giggs. Oh, and he's gone past Phelan with consummate ease, and he's so exciting on runs like this. Giggs, and he was trying to go inside and outside Curle, trying to confuse him, but even then City have given it away. And here's a long ball up for Hughes, who controls it and then was knocking it down for Sharpe, who hadn't come. McMahon mopping up. It's been a lively half. Quinn remonstrating with the linesman on this side, but Mark Hughes leading the line very well, intelligently for United today. This time it comes off a City foot. That's of Andy Hill for a United throw just inside City's half. And they're a goal to the good. But Irwin's run it out. Remarkable to see Terry Phelan popping up in an outside right position a few moments ago and almost getting David White in. Brian Kidd on the Manchester United bench One of the great United strikers, of course, now the assistant manager here at Old Trafford. Bruce for Parker. United have certainly enjoyed the better possession in the opening 40 minutes. We're coming up to that mark in a minute. And they've had more chances. The free kick is to Hughes. And he still wins it, but only directs it to Holden. Holden's ball up the middle, aimed for Quinn, who might still get there from the knockdown from Pallister. City's chance to do something now. McMahon, that will be intercepted by Parker, who spotted it. Now then, McClair has to stay on side, does so. Giggs was deeper this time, he was in the right back position. Ince pushes forward and feeds Sharpe. Robson made a run down the left. Sharpe instead swings it in. Ince picking it up, has got a man wide right. That man here is Ryan Giggs. And off he goes again. Just loves to have the football at his foot. So this time he doesn't do anything quite so clever with it. Five minutes from half-time and United still leading City 1-0. And on the attack again, with Sharpe confronted by Hill. Can't get past him either. One of the success stories of City's season, Andy Hill. And one of the two Yorkshiremen playing in this Lancashire derby comes from Sheffield. Irwin with the throw for Manchester United. Just the one goal separating the sides as David White concedes a throw-in. It's parallel with the 6-yard box. Sharpe shadowed by White. It's a corner. Really important for City not to concede another one before the break. United would have a terrific psychological edge if they were to go in 2 up. And Dennis Irwin will play this corner in. United have had 6 in the first half. City haven't had any at all. It was just that bit too flat and enabled them to clear as far as Sheron. He tests his speed against that of Paul Parker. Parker won the day. Giggs surely he won't keep this in. Well, he might do, but Brightwell able to put it out once more. Ian Brightwell back after a shin injury, which kept him out of last week's match against Spurs, replacing his brother David. Sharpe going for the longer throw. McClair was there. Hughes couldn't get there. So Curle advances for City and feeds Holden up the inside left channel. He's got Phelan darting up outside of him, but instead he's going to swing it over towards Niall Quinn, and an offside verdict against City and against Quinn. I think he said, "Are you sure?" to the linesman on this near side. Well, the linesman was. Well, I would have said he was level at that point, which would have meant he was onside. United's throw in with less than 2 minutes of the first half remaining at Old Trafford, and the home side very much in command, although only by the 1 goal. City haven't really threatened much on attack. They do now. Sheron And Quinn, White's in the middle if he can find him. It requires a really good ball, this one from Quinn, and he goes and tries to tee it up for Simpson, and Fitzroy Simpson comes as close as anyone has done for City in the first half. Schmeichel wouldn't have stopped that one. Good work from Quinn. He looked as though he was going to try a shot himself, rolled it invitingly for Simpson, and that's how close he was to the equaliser. Nice work from Niall Quinn. It's a Simpson shot eluding Schmeichel and the post. Just got the one goal this season. Irwin's throwing. Robson's ball back to him. The two trading passes. So Simpson has the chance to bring City clear. Nice footwork by McMahon. Quinn holding it up sensibly. And that's going to be United's throw. Niall Quinn hasn't had a lot of reward for his work so far this afternoon. As we come up to the end of 45 minutes of normal time in the half, and there have hardly been any injuries. And in fact, right on 45 minutes, referee Ashby points to the dressing room. An exciting first half. Paul Ince, the one goal scorer in it, and a cracking goal it was too, after he'd been teed up by Steve Bruce. So it's United 1, City 0. 45 minutes in which to show what he can do. Alex Ferguson had wondered long and hard how he was going to fit Cantona into the side that beat Arsenal last week. The reply to that is to take off Giggs at half-time. It looks to look a more formidable United side now that Sharpe is back after injury. Cantona coming in, there is more pressure on people's places here. Simpson for City. McMahon's clearance charged down as far as Phelan. This now is Holden. Phelan once more. Well met by Pallister. Phelan down the line and Holden. Parker and a goal kick given. Paul Parker now back on the verge of the England squad. He was of course a member of the World Cup squad 2 years ago. Hughes, oh, the ball through. Almost got Cantona in with his first touch. The Frenchman would have enjoyed that. Foul tackle by Robson gives City a free kick. It was on Quinn. Still United leading 1-0. Paul Ince the goal scorer. There was the moment that Cantona almost got in. It was a lovely ball from Hughes towards the Frenchman, which he appreciated. There is a language difficulty with Cantona, who has not yet learned to speak any English at all since his move here earlier in the year. He was at Leeds 11 months. Here's McMahon's free kick for City. Breaks for Phelan. Simpson. Sheron to McMahon. McMahon tries to play the telling ball over the top, and it's once more Sheron putting the ball out of play for a United throw. He's really been in a very good seam of form lately, Mike Sheron. 5 goals in 6 games. He's not had a sniff today. And it's Robson who wins it for United, and then Parker's clearance straight to McMahon. And it's Ince eventually who drives United forward. Oh, tremendous run by Ince, and he goes on. And now to the left is Sharpe, to the right is Hughes, and he can't keep it in play. Paul Ince directing operations for United. Sharpe's ball in wasn't quite of the quality that they would have hoped. It was a lovely run by Ince. He could even have gone a bit further perhaps, and then Sharpe, well, it was way beyond Hughes really. He took a nasty bounce and went out. And once more Ince to the driving to the fore. He's the driving force in the team. There he is yet again. He seems to have had the ball more than anybody in this match. Not one of his better passes that time. Phelan. Sheron offside. Mike Sheron, who was the young eagle of the month. He's still only 20, so has a good future ahead of him. He tried to check, but he was off. Pallister has had a good game and hits a very good ball as well. And now Sharpe testing himself against Brightwell and wins it. Great work by Sharpe, and once more Cantona was a yard out, and that might have been a highly popular goal. It's carrying on apace as the match. McMahon's not worried by the booing. He showed great composure and experience then. Ince and McClair got themselves in a bit of a tangle that time. Oh, and then Quinn. That's a rather ugly attempt to play the ball forward. It was an ineffective one too, and now it's at the foot of Coton. But Cantona could have scored twice, ironically. Sharpe did so well there to win the ball from McMahon. It was coming towards Cantona, but was, in fairness, a little behind him anyway. Still United looking much the brighter of the two teams, but City win a corner. Conceded by Irwin. City haven't, well, it's their first corner, and Holden is going to take it short for Sheron. Now he's got the chance to play a better ball in. Well dealt with by United's defence, but Curle has knocked it back up in the air. And now United break quickly with Cantona, and if he plays it across field, United have chances here. They're queuing up outside of him, but it's going to come back to the Frenchman. Just didn't quite get where they wanted it. There might still be a chance. No, it's punched out by Coton, and Curle effects the clearance. Well, if Cantona's first pass had been just a little more effective, United would have been in for a second. He's got the chance to play it in, and Hughes' header is over the top of the bar. Good ball from Cantona, he'll be well pleased with that. He could have laid on a second for United moments earlier. Then when he does play the ball and it's right onto Mark Hughes' head, he gets under it. Good ball, the header didn't quite match. Hughes a scorer in the last 2 United games, but not as yet in this one. Seven minutes of the second half played, and United preserving their 1-goal advantage and almost adding to it. Ince forward, too far forward. But Alex Ferguson showing no emotion whatsoever, but he'll have been pleased with his early sighting of Cantona. It's a good time to bring him on, of course, with the side in front. It's enabled him to have a good look at him over 45 minutes. Brightwell wins it from Sharpe. McMahon down the line for White's ball in, but McClair able to chip it out to Cantona. Then it's Hughes, and a lovely header from Hughes, opening the way for Sharpe, and Hughes wants it back again as well. He's going to get it back, and Hughes kept at bay by a critical tackle from Terry Phelan. That's why they paid £2.5 million for the fullback. Excellent defending, and now the whistle has gone against Bruce for a free kick. In fact, it's for Bruce, but that was the moment where Terry Phelan showed excellent work as a defender, excellent qualities. And Peter Reid, the player manager, is coming out there to try and influence things himself. He's going to replace Simpson. Simpson, who might well have got a goal in the first half for City, then gives way for his boss. And at the age of 36, Peter Reid, 2 years in charge at Main Road, comes on to try and steady the ship. City are just showing signs of wobbling a bit at the moment. Parker, Ince, Cantona, hustled out of it by Reid. A bit of a roar from the City's fans, who have generally been muted for much of the afternoon. They thought Quinn was going to get a break on there. So what can Peter Reid do for his side? One of the questions that remains to be answered in the remaining 36 minutes of this game. That's a foul. Cantona refuses to shake hands with McMahon. An early flash of Gallic temperament, maybe. McMahon certainly has not been the crowd's favourite today. If he upsets Cantona, he'll become a real sinner in their eyes. There he is again, and it flicked off his head and nearly let Sharpe in. Uncomfortable defending for Brightwell. Coton's clearance met by Ince. Pallister off. Curle slicing his clearance. He's still bellowing his curl at the referee. He thought the offside should have been given. To be fair to the referee, he waved play on, and then it didn't quite work out in City's favour. Quinn offside White. Well, City haven't beaten United in the last 5 derby matches, not since defeating them 5-1 back in 1989. It was a shattering result for United at the time. But they, at the moment, would appear to be on top in this one. Well, there are 2 golden oldies there, Brian Robson and Peter Reid. Quinn's here for City now. They need to show a bit more invention than they have done so far. Cantona wasn't a good touch, and it's given the ball back to City in a dangerous area as well. White to Sheron, to Holden, and his shot is beaten down. Robson dallied momentarily. It opens the way for Peter Reid to get a shot in, and for derisory cheering from United's fans. Peter Reid doesn't often figure on the score sheet these days. He got 1 goal last season in an FA Cup tie against Middlesbrough, but his last strike in a league match was way back in 1989 against Aston Villa. You could say he's due a goal. And Ryan Giggs sitting out the second half. He didn't play badly in the first half by any means. So perhaps he's taken a slight knock. Whatever, it's given Alex Ferguson the opportunity to look at Cantona. Another free kick against McMahon. He really is running the gauntlet of referee Ashby Steve McMahon. And there's a verbal exchange with Ince. United's free kick. Steve Bruce taking it. Hughes trying to make some space for himself, edge of the area. Cantona being marked by Hill. It goes for Hughes, and the header was just beyond the man coming in, who was Robson. It's Brian Robson's presence which is so important to United, and although he didn't quite get involved there, he's had a good day today. So far. Still 1-0. Manchester United in the lead in the 117th Manchester derby. But so long as it stays at 1-0, City are well in the hunt. Hill's header forward, a strong one. Pallister under it. They're going through a rather strange phase of the game with nothing much happening. With a succession of free kicks, the latest of them awarded to City. As always, Curle will take it, and it's going to land round about the penalty spot, and Quinn gets up there as well, and that time there was no whistle. But Ince effects a good clearance, and Cantona's overhead kick nearly opened up the way for Hughes. And he continues to battle with Curle. And the free kick is given against the Welshman. Well, I think that was fair enough. Oh, Reid has lost it quickly. And there's a handball by Phelan. It might be booked. I think he will be. You can't handle the ball these days. At one time you could handle it and not get a booking, but if you touch the ball at all with your hand nowadays, it incurs the wrath of the referee. And Terry Phelan's name goes alongside that of Rick Holden in referee Ashby's book. There it was. Ironically, Ince had slipped anyway. If he hadn't, he was on his way to goal. United are looking for a second goal, and Robson is taking this free kick for them. It's Phelan who's under it. The clearance as far as Ince, and there's an offside now. Ince still enjoying a good afternoon's work. We've passed the hour mark with Manchester United 1-up. Phelan's ball is down the line, aimed at Quinn, and it might skid away from Pallister. Oh, and that's a difficult one for the keeper, who can do no more than hook it out of play. That was a nasty ball for Schmeichel to treat. Holden for City. Reid now. The square ball aimed at Hill. Now McMahon, and a winning challenge by Robson. And let them know he was there all right. Brightwell. Now McMahon again. City have a lot of men around the penalty area. Oh, that's a wretched ball in. It really is. The crowd enjoyed that. They haven't cheered much that McMahon has done today. The problem for City is that if they just fire the ball in, they've got big Niall Quinn up there, but so far Gary Pallister and Steve Bruce have been equal to everything in the air. And they've not been able to use the pace of Mike Sheron much to their advantage in attack. City's free kick once more. United looking much more potent force there with Robson in the side. But it's a slender lead they have at the moment, 1-0. Curle's free kick. Pallister has got a slight nudge, I think, from Quinn. He's putting off his header. But the ball is cleared long. Curle. And Coton. Back from Ince. Nobody offside this time, so again Coton has to clear left-footed onto the chest of Holden. United denying City much space at the moment, and then there are at least 3 City men offside, one of them David White. So everybody gets ahead of Gary Pallister as he prepares to take the latest United free kick. The game needs another goal at the moment. City certainly need one. Here is McClair for United though. Cantona dummied. It was spotted by Curle. Not a good ball from him, however. This is Sharpe. As Irwin outside it. Irwin's ball in is to Hughes. Hughes spreads it. Parker makes an extra man and should win the corner of Holden. He does. That was better from United. And you do really feel if they got a second goal there'd be no way back in this match for City. Still early to say that probably, 27 minutes left. But here is United's chance with a Robson corner kick, which is easily dealt with by Coton under no pressure. Coton, a £1 million signing from Watford. He was outstanding for City last season and has continued in good vein this time. Quinn gets a free kick off Pallister's push. The referee was right alongside. And he's even placing the ball for the free kick, the referee. City had a free kick in the first half in a good position and were unable to do anything with it. What can they do now? They've rarely threatened an equaliser, really. Curle drills it wide for Holden. He's a good crossover ball. And this time he floats it in and it's gone behind before Schmeichel collected it. It's a goal kick. And that wasn't a good cross, just as we were saying. Holden was a good crossover ball, usually is. And City going to bring on a second substitute. And they are taking off Sheron to get Flitcroft on in a moment. It hasn't happened yet. And they're on the attack. So Sheron has a few more moments in which to make an impact in the game, but not long. We know he's going to come off. Brightwell for Reid. And then that's an intelligent ball up the line from McMahon, but it's put too much pressure on Brightwell, and it means that City can make that substitution. And that we've seen the last of Mike Sheron for today, as Gary Flitcroft takes his place. Gary Flitcroft is a 20-year-old who made his debut this season, went on loan to Bury last season. Bury, one of the smaller clubs around the Manchester area, now playing in the 3rd division. So Sheron hasn't had much fortune today. More, it's a free kick against Mark Hughes. Far too many free kicks for the good of the game in the second half. It's not quite lived up to the first half. White is quick, but surely not that quick. The manager really has to do something inspirational to change the course of this game, which United have bossed for most of the afternoon. Now McClair knocks forward, and Cantona coming, but so was Coton. Spotted the danger, came out and effected a good clearance. United's problem all season has been in the scoring of goals, and although they're leading at the moment, they've not really created as many chances as Alex Ferguson would like. They've scored just 18 matches. They've scored just 19 goals now in 18 matches. And while they've got the best defensive record in the league, only 12 goals conceded, it's their attack really which needs bolstering, hence the signing of Cantona. And still constant rumours that Manchester United are going to make another bid for Sheffield Wednesday's England international David Hirst. They had a £3.5 million bid for him turned down earlier this week, and Hurst, I'm told, is in the crowd today, thinking with his spying for his Sheffield Wednesday side, who meet Manchester United on Boxing Day. Cantona is a new addition, and he's up there now as United have a free kick which has found its way through to Paul Ince, who is tripped by, inevitably, Steve McMahon. And McMahon remonstrates with the linesman. Well, quite why he should do that, I do not know. There was no question that Ince has gone down. McMahon is the one to have conceded the free kick, which was given. A shake of the head from the former Liverpool, Everton and Aston Villa player. United's free kick. And the four-man think tank consists of Irwin, Ince, Robson and Sharpe. Coton has taken up a position on the right of his goal line, and Irwin gets the shot in, and Coton scrambles across his line to meet it. One of the few exciting moments of the second half, to be fair. Ince can't get down that left-hand channel. Well, when he did, the ball didn't come to him, but he's there again. And now it's a longer ball aimed towards Cantona, but City contriving to give it away, and Ince is brought down by McMahon. And this is getting quite unbelievable. And Steve McMahon now has to be booked. Quite how he's gone so long in the match without a yellow card is a mystery, because he's been involved in all the more sinister moments of the match, and he surely cannot complain about being cautioned for that. And every one of his tackles, it seems to have been on Paul Ince. Here it is, Ince just nicking the ball forward, and McMahon's sliding challenge incurs a yellow card. Well, it's the most popular action of Mr. Ashby this afternoon. McMahon really hasn't been very popular at all today with the crowd. Here's Robson's free kick for United. Bruce has got in there for it, and Brightwell has to knock it out of play for the corner kick. City are at full stretch. Interesting the positions United players are taking here. They've got Pallister and McClair at the near post. Hughes is in the penalty area too. Bruce is making a run. So it's rather disappointing that the ball was planted straight onto the head of City's David White. This United throw to be taken by Lee Sharpe, and no, he's leaving it for Robson. The referee wants more urgency. And come on with the crowd, I imagine. Offside White. They just have not read it right at all this afternoon, and the number of times that David White and Niall Quinn have been caught in the Manchester United offside trap is disappointing for Peter Reid's point of view. United are still trying to seal their victory though. For all their pressure, they've still only got the one goal. Cantona's header directs it to McClair, and now it's United who are offside. And City break with Phelan. 19 minutes left. Reid's ball intercepted by Parker. He'll beat Cantona, and now Hughes might break through. Curle going for it. Coton clearing. It's just a little bit scrappy this second half. The majority of chances haven't really been created through good football. It's just been breaks.
What up, son?
Never much between the sides in derby games. Rare you get more than 2 or 3 goals. Cantona lost out to Holden. And it breaks for Hughes now. It wasn't a great ball from him. It enabled Brightwell to get a toe in, but now Sharpe has a little bit of space and plays it in first time towards McClair. Excellent defending by Curle. Oh, and then they've let Robson come, and Robson's inside the area and goes down, and a goal kick is the decision. Robson aggrieved. Referee Ashby unmoved. And City content to bring the ball away. That might have finished it. The contest is still alive. 17 minutes left, and Manchester United a goal up. Ince wins it for United, and then, I don't believe it, he's gone down to a challenge from McMahon, which produces a free kick. I'd love to have a count of how many McMahon fouls there have been today. But here at the other end was the incident where Robson got in behind Brightwell, went down to his challenge and carried on stumbling, but didn't convince the referee. Mr. Ashby, under pressure as all referees are in derby matches, he was firm in his decision, and I think he was probably right. Now United come. Hughes trying to get Cantona through, takes it on. Hughes with the shot, a brilliant goal. Typical Mark Hughes, and the United fans are able to hug one another on the terraces as the players do likewise on the field. That's a great strike on the chest, it bounced and left-footed, it's driven beyond Coton into City's net. And Mark Hughes surely has put the seal on a United victory now. It really was a typical effort from the Welshman, and Mark Hughes' 9th goal of the season stretches United into the clear. 2-0, is there any way back for City now? I doubt it. And 35,000 fans, 35,408 have enjoyed United's performance, but wait, here comes City, and a chance for Quinn, and they've got one back within a minute. And now Quinn says, come on, he urges the Sky Blues into it. Schmeichel has to pick the ball from his net, and within a minute of Hughes scoring what seemingly you thought was going to be a winner for United, Niall Quinn poaches one back for City. Good ball in from Rick Holden. Schmeichel coming, stopping, and then he wasn't able to get there when Quinn did. And the game has turned on its head once more. It was a lovely cross from Holden, but that dithery moment by Schmeichel just opened the door for Quinn. There isn't a better crosser of a ball in football than Rick Holden. Quinn initially getting a header and then a shot which brings City back into the match. And United also have an injury at the moment. Steve Bruce receiving treatment. Very physical game, and they don't come any bigger than Niall Quinn, and getting in there as he did posed a big problem for Alex Ferguson's side. He was all smiles in the 74th minute. Then after 75th, it rather wiped the smile away. So it's United 2, it's City 1. And we've got a grandstand finish on our hands. Here was the moment that was critical, really. Schmeichel stopped for a moment, and then he couldn't beat off Quinn's challenge. It really has set things up. Niall Quinn scoring for City. And Steve Bruce sitting it out for the moment, and although the clock ticks by, the referee will have stopped his watch, and we'll have about a quarter of an hour left, I imagine, for City to try and rescue it. United have Mike Phelan on the bench as well as Eric Cantona today. Cantona's already on, and Phelan is ready for action should he be required. As we see it once more, Quinn's header initially into the back of Bruce, then White sat on him. That's where he got his injury. Quinn didn't bother, he scored. And the Old Trafford crowd are trying to lift United once more. They thought victory was theirs when Hughes scored that stunning goal. But then that timely intervention by Niall Quinn and the injury to Steve Bruce might just have tipped things back City's way a little. Quinn going in for it, White landing on top of Bruce, Schmeichel unable to get there, Quinn profiting. Jimmy McGregor, the United physiotherapist, making a long and certain check that Bruce is fit to continue. He's a doughty customer, Steve Bruce, a northeasterner, as indeed is Quinn. And although Bruce looks very groggy, he will continue. His presence critical for United's cause. Perhaps he'll just need reminding of the score. Tonight it's United 2, City 1, and officially 12 minutes to play, but there must be at least 15 after that lengthy stoppage. Really has lit the fuse again. Curle belts it forward, and Bruce is put under pressure immediately by Quinn. Reid gets in, he can sense maybe City can get something out of it even now. Brightwell steps forward, plays it across towards White. Bruce shows he's alright by clearing. Quinn's fourth goal of the season has breathed new life into the match, just when it appeared to have been killed stone dead by Hughes' goal. Oh, that's a giveaway. Oh, and that's not a good ball across field. It's not gone out of play, which is astonishing. So Holden puts another one in, and a stooping header by Bruce. Fortunately for him, it was straight to McClair. Parker's throw, Cantona's header. City contrived to get the ball away with Curle's clearing run, and then it spins away, and Sharpe picked it up, but Reid wins it back for City, and then checks and turns and feeds a good ball into the path of Flitcroft, who asks White to dance away down that right touchline, and it took the combined efforts of Irwin and Pallister to stop him. And we've another stoppage. Well, there are bodies all over the place at the moment. Curle is down in the centre circle. And United have a man down there as well. So Mike Phelan on the touchline thinks about coming on once more for the last 10 minutes or so of the game. A little bit more than that, I would imagine. It's Brian Robson who's getting treatment for United. Just interrupting the flow of the match a little, but that certainly was an exciting 60 seconds when Hughes scored United's second and City responded with a Quinn goal. Robson wants to carry on. Curle is still receiving attention. There was Curle making his way out of defence, and he went over the top of Robson. That's where he got his bang on this side, and Curle fell awkwardly too. Well, City have got both their outfield substitutes on. They can't make any more changes, so it's imperative for their cause that Keith Curle can continue. I think the crowd have had their money's worth today. There was a spell early in this second half, well, in fact the first 20 odd minutes of the second half, which was a bit of nothingness really, but after that, the Hughes goal and the Quinn goal set it on fire again. It's been a good first 45 minutes. Keith Curle doesn't look too happy, does he? Still he did fall awkwardly, it's quite a tumble he took, but Hughes, for his 9th goal of the season, thought he'd given Manchester United the 3 points until that intervention of Niall Quinn's. And here it is once more, Curle, and over he went, and landed on his elbow, I fancy. and lengthy treatment being applied, and that's the second stoppage of more than 3 minutes that we've had. Robson just got a bang on the side, and the old magic spray will have sorted that out momentarily. Players are trying to keep warm around the pitch. Robson says, come on, just keep it going, not long to go in the match. We must have at least 5, if not 6 minutes to be added on, however. So although we officially have had 83 minutes of this match, I reckon there's probably about 12 minutes to go. The play resumes at last with a throw-in for City, and Brightwell hacks it into the middle. White was going for it. Cleared by Irwin for United. Cantona keeps it in, and Sharpe goes. Trying to get his way past Ian Brightwell. He'll win a corner. And City have to funnel men back to defend against it. Sharpe will take it, and with his left foot he'll swing it out towards the 4 men camped on the edge of the area. Robson's making a run to try and meet it. It went to McMahon, and fortuitously for City, he managed to find the only man in a blue shirt out there, Holden. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1. 5.5 minutes plus probably another 5 of time added on for injuries. Flitcroft played it wide for Brightwell. Here on the charge goes White, and a corner kick. Pallister had to put it out of play. He thought there was a push. A very physical game, football, though. And those sort of nudges tend to go unpunished nowadays. So City get only their second corner of the match. They're looking for an equaliser now, remember. And it's coming up towards Hill, and Quinn, and White, and Schmeichel kept it out. So close to a City equaliser. Schmeichel delighted with his instincts. His reaction was so positive there, he simply got himself in front of White. Foot either side of him, and it was in the net. Cantona robbed. Not had much chance to show his paces yet. And he's got very bad memories of playing against Manchester City as Eric Cantona. He's twice figured for Leeds United against them and twice lost 4-0. Here's Quinn for City in the area. Oh, and he's headed over his own goal by Pallister. And it's United under the cosh all of a sudden. I'm not quite sure what has happened in this game to change things around. Hill's header and Schmeichel's reactionary stop from White there. And now Schmeichel and his defenders are there as Holden takes another City corner. Not the good one, however, but it's only as far as McMahon. Now Holden. His cross supplied the goal for Quinn. He plays another one in. It's hooked across there. Not going to go out of play. And Irwin clears anywhere, really. Good late pressure this from Peter Reid's men. Flitcroft couldn't get there. United and Hughes bring it out. Cantona lays it square for Sharpe. He's got movement up the middle. So as that move breaks down, City start to build again. Curle doesn't look totally comfortable after his injury. Flitcroft. Brightwell. Reid wants it up the middle. They aim for the head of Quinn. They find him up there as well. Bruce out, and as far as Quinn again. City are bossing it for the moment. And it's about the first time we've been able to say that in all 87 minutes that we've had. They're stroking it around very confidently. Curle, Holden, And it's the City fans who are roaring now in anticipation as Holden tries to skip outside of Parker, and it's going to be no more than a throw-in. Here's Holden once more with a chance to play it in. First time he takes that opportunity, and it skims off ahead and out of play for another City corner. Sharpe conceded it. City have lifted the tempo amazingly in the last few minutes. Quinn's goal has acted as such a spur to them. And here's Holden, skillfully chipped it up in the air. Hill got there, but United managed to get the ball out, and then Cantona has knocked it almost back into his own penalty area. Now the ball is released up that left-hand side for Sharpe. Cantona's in the middle, if Sharpe can find him. There are two other men arriving as well. One of them here is Hughes. He might try the shot, he does, wide. Well, surely if he'd have scored then, that would have put the seal on it. But by the time it reached him, Hughes took it on the chest and then really stabbed his shot. He was looking to swerve it and couldn't do so. Just a minute of normal time remains, but remember we've had two very lengthy stoppages, which must have added up to at least 5 minutes, I reckon. And so City still have their chances, but the back heel from Quinn was spotted, and it's United who wriggle away with it, and Cantona goes up the middle. Curle able to deny him any further progress. Well, that really would put the cap on the afternoon if Cantona was to get a goal for United on his debut. He's got about 5 minutes left, I would say, in which to do that. With City throwing everything forward, that's quite possible, because United, as the home side, are coming on the break at the moment. Here is Hughes. Outside him is McClair. Here is Hughes again. It didn't come kindly, and so Reid is able to bring the ball out for City. And he asks White to gallop. He does against Pallister. And then Schmeichel clears over the halfway line, where there's an offside verdict against Mark Hughes. And we're in time added on at Old Trafford, with United still leading 2-1, but City giving them a late scare. And still very much in the match. They've come to try and beat the offside trap and haven't made it, but it went all the way through into Schmeichel's hands. And then he tried to do the intelligent thing and play it over the top of City's defence, but Cantona was offside. Another assault from Manchester City. Brightwell's ball in, looks for Quinn. Bruce just got there. Phelan's here for City. And then it's touched off to another man in a blue jersey. Phelan again. Hill's ahead of him, and he's a defender. That's City's policy now, get everybody forward. Another good ball in. Two men going for it, and maybe it would have been better if it had been left to Quinn. Flitcroft came in too. Somehow they've got a corner. Schmeichel can't believe it. He thought it was a goal kick. I must admit, so did I. Holden's ball. Those are the ones posing the problems. And the referee's ruling is that Pallister touched the ball. City's corner. Can they make it 2-2? Holden again. Headed out only as far as McMahon. Offside. So United hold on thanks to the linesman's flag. Linesman Bob Andrews on that far side. And the hands went up immediately. We've had almost 2 minutes of time added on. I would think that there are at least another 3 minutes of that to go, if not 4. Flitcroft. Not a convincing header by Pallister. Flitcroft for City. And to McMahon, who loses it, and now there are plenty of red shirts going forward. Ince, he's got McClair outside him. Here comes Brian McClair. Cantona wants it far side. It's not a good ball in, however, allowing Coton to get down. And it stays at 2-1 for United. Back comes City again. White. Offside Holden. Important stop by Coton. It wasn't a good ball in from McClair though. Cantona still wants that first goal for United. There are a few people come home from France to watch him play today. It's offside as well. Cantona did actually make his debut, of course, for United in midweek in a friendly match to mark Eusebiu's 50th birthday in Lisbon. But this is his league debut today, and so far it looks as though he's going to be on the winning side, but we've had 3.5 minutes of time added on. The game continues. Pallister was up above Quinn. It's broken again here for Flitcroft. Wasn't a great ball in, and Hughes for United brings it out and sets off hot foot. Cantona goes and gives him it back. Hughes gives it back towards Cantona, but it just took that deflection off Curle, which carried it through to Coton. White missed it. Pallister and Bruce didn't. They don't even bother chasing this time. United know it's every man jack of them got to defend. Coton has come up to the halfway line almost. Schmeichel. Oh, there was an offside there. That's why he's carried the ball out inside of his own area. And we've had 4.5 minutes of time added on. How much more is Mr. Ashby going to allow? Perhaps another 90 seconds. Onside this time. The keeper comes and collects and hits it straight downfield as he would. And that's it! Manchester United are triumphant in the 117th derby. Mark Hughes' excellent strike carried them into a 2-goal lead. And United good value for their victory. City only came in the last quarter when Niall Quinn scored within 60 seconds of Hughes' strike. And although City fought bravely towards the end of the match, they were well beaten really over the 90 minutes. So it ends with Manchester United through goals from Ince and Hughes beating City's 1 from Quinn. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1.
You are watching